When we examine the transition of power in antiquity, we are looking at something more calculated than an organic cultural shift. The evidence points to a mechanical operation by the Roman administrative state, a forensic inversion designed to overwrite a fixed legal timeline. The objective was to sever the mathematical and biological cord of the original covenant. By disrupting that link, the administration replaced a verifiable legal record with a system of state-controlled religious mysticism. The audit suggests this operation targeted a specific countdown, a sequence of 120 jubilees ending in 2026 CE. To maintain control, the state had to ensure this expiration point remained untrackable. We are conducting a forensic audit of the universal file of evidence to identify the specific mechanical attacks used to execute this decoupling. The modern perception of history as an endless, linear progression is actually an artificial construct, an opaque loop built to hide a mathematically precise deadline. This separation of the covenant from state religion began with political directors. In 325 CE, Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea formalized the fracture. Their strategy involved redacting the foundational file, truncating the 81-book Ethiopian canon down to a restricted 66-book version. Removing documents like the Metzihafe Hanach, or Enoch, and the Kufale, or Jubilees, effectively erased the 364-day solar laws required to track the timeline. Next came a jurisdictional name swap. The administration moved away from the original root language frequency of Yeshua and exported the state-authorized Latin title, Jesus. Comparison of the original Ge'ez manuscripts against the Latin Vulgate reveals the shift in jurisdiction. By altering the name of authority and redacting the operational books, the Roman system moved the population out of the legal domain of the covenant and directly under Roman canon law. Once the texts were redacted, the state targeted the biological markers of the timeline. In 431 CE, the Council of Ephesus focused on the mother of the Messiah. The council issued an official decree granting her the title Theotokos, the Mother of God. This specific title and the reverence attached to it were historically assigned to the goddess Artemis, whose primary temple stood at the very site where the council convened. This title shift functioned as a mechanical swap. It took a human, biological marker and elevated her into an unreachable religious icon. Originally, she served as physical evidence for the specific birth coordinate of June 17, 2 BCE. Deifying her effectively changed the global conversation from trackable chronology and lineage to untrackable theology. To sever the resurrection from its fixed point of Nisan 17, the Roman system had to legally invalidate the primary observer. The mechanism for this character assassination was Pope Gregory I's Homily 33, delivered in 591 CE. Gregory officially merged Miriam of Magdala, the court-recognized witness, with the unnamed sinful woman from the 7th chapter of Luke. Under the standards of Roman and ancient law, the testimony of a fallen woman was inadmissible in a legal proceeding. By labeling her a sinner, the administration stripped the primary witness of her legal standing. With the witness legally void, her testimony regarding the Nisan 17 date was effectively deleted from history, allowing Rome to implement the floating model of Easter Sunday. The Roman agenda also required an attack on the foundational law, the Ten Commandments. The state performed a commandment swap, deleting the second commandment forbidding idolatry. They then altered the fourth commandment, shifting the Sabbath from the seventh to the first day. This targeted the mathematical cycle of 7, the frequency anchoring the calendar. Breaking this numerical sequence disconnected the population from the 364-day solar laws and forced them onto the emperor's arbitrary timeline. By the Renaissance, technical agents physically altered the historical record to reinforce the false timeline. In 1544, the Froben printers in Basel, Switzerland, provided the necessary intervention. They introduced a specific typesetting error into the Greek edition of Josephus's Antiquities. This error artificially pushed the death of King Herod back to 4 BCE. Shifting this date allowed the Roman system to bury the true biological coordinate of the June 17, 2 BCE birth. In 1582 CE, the mechanical strategy reached its final phase. Pope Gregory XIII signed the papal bull Inter Gravissimus, acting as administrator of the calendar change. He authorized the physical deletion of 10 days, jumping the calendar from October 4th directly to October 15th. When the 10 days are extracted, the continuous, unbroken Sabbath frequency violently desyncs and glitches. This action did more than adjust the date. It physically broke the continuous count of days established since the time of Abraham. The 365.25-day Gregorian drift was then established as the global standard. By mathematically scrambling the frequency of the days, Rome ensured future generations would lose the baseline required to track the 120 Jubilee sequence. This summary matrix reveals the attacks. Authority. The legal name Yeshua is replaced by the state title, Jesus. Witness. The legal eyewitness is replaced by the discredited prostitute. Calendar. The 364-day solar laws are overwritten by the drifting Gregorian model. Each modification aligns toward a central administrative goal: endless jurisdictional control over the timeline. The Roman system trapped the population in a framework of open-ended, linear history. As long as history is perceived as having no fixed conclusion, the administrative state maintains eternal jurisdiction over the people. This contrasts sharply with the covenant truth, a fixed, mathematically bounded 120 Jubilee lease. The Roman agenda successfully kept this evidence hidden until the final hour, but despite 1,700 years of mechanical attacks, the file has been reconstructed. The audit confirms that the 6,000-year timeline inevitably expires in 2026.